Yokoso, yokoso, yokoso. Aragata gozaimasu. Welcome, one and all, to episode 109 of the Stadia Monday Night Chat. I'm your host, Clive Illenden. I hope you are all good and well and looking forward to the week. We have a packed, and I mean packed, show. There are lots of new game announcements and more on the horizon. Trust me, it's going to be a good week. We'll be looking at the immersive stream tech and how it's key technology for Google overall, and therefore will benefit Stadia in the long run. All this, and of course, so much, much more, people. So keep it locked to Stadia FM here on your dial, pop pickers. And don't forget to hit the likes, subscribe if you're new, as it's important we get the info in this show out there, people. The stuff we talk about here is researched based on game industry and media business experience. It's gilt-edged Stadia stuff, people. And you and I should all be on a mission to inform, educate, and entertain people on all things Stadia. As ever, you shall be playing the role of chat in tonight's performance. So get involved. Say hello in the chat. Let me know your thoughts re Stadia this week. What games you've been playing. Your thoughts to game reveals that we might mention on this show. Anything like that. All of that. All Stadia related. Put it in the chat. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's see who turned up early for the audition for the role of chat, have learnt their lines and are eager to share some thoughts and improvisations. Yes, it's the early access version of chat, as I like to call it. Let's delve in there and see who's in the chat. Early doors, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see who's in the chat. Early doors, straight off there, Mr. Bayram plays. Did someone say Stadia? Metal Wolf did. Stadia, 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 Stadia. Woo! Stadia. Rick Edwards, hello, sir. David Wilson, hello. And now your mama knows we're going to be redirecting to Anthony straight after this show. So keep it locked when the credits roll, and it will take you straight to Anthony's show at the end. If you're a sucker for punishment. No, always entertaining is Anthony. Stadia Adventure, good to see you. Hello, sir. Jerome, as ever, beautiful to see you. Torres, Christopher Torres, I wouldn't expect anything else. Always listening, love it. And the one and only, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause, the stats man himself. It's Jack Dislip. Lovely to see you, Jack. Super stuff. Ray, driving and listening. Ooh, multitasking there. Lovely. Rick Edwards has been playing plenty of FIFA 22 with rapid matchmaking. That's good. It's good to see. Good to hear that the crossplay on FIFA is working. I must admit, I dived into 9 to 5. Now it's gone, and I'll come to that later. It's gone full. It's left early access, and yeah, games straight away, and they were all on Steam. But yeah, there we go. Bry the Gamer, hello, sir. Lovely to see you, or madam. Yeah, David, we do hope everyone's had a good week, and we hope they're going to have an even better week going forward, ladies and gentlemen. Peta Games, always good to see you there. Right then, ladies and gentlemen, to say, what have I been playing? Well, actually, I've been playing the old regulars. I say I dropped into 9 to 5. I do like the game, but it's still not as smooth. And so I was sort of experimenting with 9 to 5, which has gone now, left early access. So I jumped into a game of Deathmatch in Rainbow Six Siege, just because I like to sort of compare the two. They're very similar games. although I've not played the deathmatch on Rainbow Six Siege. Too good for me. They're too good for me there. I struggle, especially in the deathmatch, because it all happens so fast. So I struggle on that. So then I went back to my old favourite, a bit of PUBG. It's funny how there's games, you can have all these games come out, and I might dip in now and then and spend some time with a game, but I always go back to the favourites. It's like always going back to FIFA or always going back to PUBG. It just goes to show, if you get those kind of millennial games that people, not millennial games, but, eternal games that people just want to come back to, then it's all good stuff. Oh, yes. Pixel Junk Raiders. Good stuff, Pedder. Anyway, there we go. Well, I don't know about you, but I think, ladies and gentlemen, let's clear the chat out there. I think it's time, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some news. So why don't we all go over to Clive in the... You right? Yeah? You right, Clive? All right, checking. Yep. Let's all go over to Clive in the Stadia Monday Night Chat news studio. Clive, what's been happening in the world of Stadia this week, Clive? Take it away. Thanks, Clive. Welcome to the Stadia Monday Night Chat news for the 16th of May, 2022. As we come into the traditional game announcement season, we're beginning to see a plethora of games announced for Stadia. Starting with Ubisoft, which had an investors call in which a number of Stadia games were announced as arriving in the first quarter of their financial year. So basically between now and the end of June 2022. These included a few surprise titles such as Rabbids Party of Legends, which until now has been a China-only release and is a party game featuring the crazy Rabbids and is loosely based on Chinese folk legend and novel Journey to the West, or more commonly known here as the Legend of Monkey, with Monkey, Pigsy, Sandy and Tripicaka. Any of those old enough to remember that, of course. Rabbids Party of Legends has 50 mini-games that challenge players to strike silly poses, topple opponents, scarf chili peppers, show off their dance moves, and much more. Up to 4 players can join locally, either 2v2 or as a free-for-all. And players can also create custom playlists of their favourite mini-games. And the AI's difficulty levels are also customizable, making the game approachable for any age and basically fun for the whole family. Ubisoft have gone on to confirm that this is in fact arriving on the 30th of June. For those looking for a Mario Party vibe on Stadia, this could be your answer. And also arriving before the end of June, Ubisoft say late spring, is Roller Champions, another free-to-play game on Stadia. Roller Champions is a 3v3 competitive multiplayer sports game played from a third-person perspective. In the game, 2 teams of players compete against each other to earn 5 points with 7 minutes by throwing a ball into a goal. In order to score, a player must gain possession of the ball, skate at least 1 lap without being interrupted by opponents. Subsequent laps can be completed by other teammates by passing the ball to them. This has a Rocket League vibe to it and as such is another welcome addition to Stadia. In addition to this, there are a number of new seasons and content announced for Riders Republic, Division 2 Season 9 and Rainbow Six Siege Year 7 Season 2, some of which have already arrived on Stadia. Talking of Division 2, this has had a free play weekend on Stadia to celebrate that arrival of Season 9 last week and is at a ridiculously low price in the sale. Arguably one of the best ports on Stadia in full 4K 60 frames per second. This is a great advert for the platform for anyone who's not tried it. So, some great games to look forward to in the next few weeks. But the Ubisoft news didn't stop there, as they confirmed that both Skull and Bones and Avatar would be arriving this financial year. So that's by the end of March 2023. And furthermore, it's been reported that Skull and Bones has been rated in South Korea, perhaps suggesting that release could be sooner than later. Again, as ever, watch this space. In other games news, as reported on this show a few weeks ago, indie game Through the Darkest of Times had been rated for Stadia on PEGI at the end of April. Well, now a rating for this has also been spotted on ESRB. So could this dark historical game be coming soon? Carson Kelly Games confirm they've agreed to release new upcoming game Talking Dogs on Stadia. Originally, this was just for PlayStation 5 and PC, but the CEO of Carson Kelly Games, Carson Kelly, announced that the game was coming to Stadia. They'll be revealing more about that game in a big gameplay reveal and world premiere trailer in June. Also, and look out for this, John Scars Gaming has an interview with Carson Kelly coming up soon as well. Talking Dogs, as far as we can tell, is a single-player, story-driven third-person game where you play as Phil the Husky, who's on a journey to find his best friend Glenn, who went missing from their hometown of Dogtown, and is inspired by movies such as Homeward Bound. The game is expected to release worldwide in 2023. As mentioned earlier, this time of year is close to what was E3 and now has become the traditional time to make game announcements. And we have a spring showcase from 505 Games, who brought a number of titles to Stadia already on the 17th of May. So could we expect more Stadia titles there? Watch this space. And furthermore, friends of Stadia, Outright Games, also have a showcase coming up in Outright Games Unwrapped, coming up later this week. So it's highly likely that we may see further games for Stadia announced there. Defo watch this space, follow me on Twitter, and stay subscribed to this channel so you can stay up to date with all things Stadia. Capcom also announced a release slate of forthcoming titles, plus as yet unannounced titles, but no mention of Stadia yet. Since in that release slate, Resident Evil Reverse was mentioned, and we know that is coming to Stadia. So, since this is their sort of Japanese finance report and more of a Japanese/global perspective, and Stadia at the end of the day is still limited to Europe and North America, it may not have been mentioned in their slates. But, as is believed, there is one other title from Capcom that is meant to be coming to Stadia. So, I still think we might see a Capcom title on Stadia soon. No guarantees, fingers crossed. Risk of Rain 2 introduced its first expansion, Survivors of the Void, and this is out now on Stadia. So there you go. That is the news from the Stadia Monday Night News this week. It's back to Clive in the main studio. Clive, over to you. Thanks, Clive. You do know that interview with oh, another subscribe, 1030, a member. 1030 Media Group. They're distracting me. I was talking to Clive then. You do know that interview with Carson Kelly Games was UK time earlier this afternoon. I watched it. It was very good. It's funny guy, Carson Kelly, the CEO of Carson Kelly Games and producer of Carson Kelly Music. Yeah, but well worth watching that. So on John Scars, Four Scars Gaming channel, interview with Carson Kelly and Kelly Carson of Kelly Carson Games on what was it called? Talking Dogs. That's it. Talking Dogs and potential of it being an ongoing series, and hints at where it might evolve to, and all of that. But well worth checking out that interview on Four Scar Games from earlier if you want to find more about Talking Dogs. And also, just to add, ladies and gentlemen, officially out of as I mentioned earlier, let's go here, 9 to 5, ladies and gentlemen, is officially out of early access. Yeah, so it's an official game, as it were. Yeah, it's all legit now. There's been a few updates, and they've sort of changed the way that the factions are and the groups and stuff like that. But extensively, it's the same game that we've had in early access, just with a few bugs and things ironed out. Same sort of sense of humor, all of that. As I say, it never quite runs as smooth as I'd really like it. I want to like the game, and I did like the mission-based game that they had earlier, the trial-based game, where you had to sort of find the find the suitcase and then get to an extraction point. I did like that. So I hope they bring that game mode back. But yeah, just so you know, 9 to 5 officially out of early access. And Geek the Sneak dropping the money there. Thank you, Geek the Sneak. Very much appreciated, as ever. Let's get back there to the studio. Yeah, Geek the Sneak, thank you. Always appreciate that. And also, in case you missed it in the news, Clive, did you miss it? No, you didn't. You put up a little banner, didn't you? Yeah, clever that, how you did that. In case you missed it, Ubisoft have confirmed that For Honor is not currently scheduled to come to Stadia, despite what it said in the earnings report. So For Honor, just as last year, seems to be a copy and paste mistake. So once again, it was erroneously listed in their delivery schedule. And I think ultimately it's funny because I saw some tweets going, oh my God, even sort of Stadia's best supporter, Ubisoft, aren't supporting the platform anymore. Oh my God, which kind of is so, to me, it is so typical of people missing the big picture. The point is that ultimately, because all Ubisoft games that are multi-platform come to Stadia, unless it's a platform exclusive on another platform. So For Honor is very much the exception to the rule. So I think, and the very fact, I think they just copy and paste all the consoles. Yeah. They just copy and paste it down the spreadsheet. But for some reason, For Honor is just not coming to Stadia. And I'm curious to why, given that, as I say, all the other Ubisoft titles do, the multi-platform series titles do, but For Honor, for some reason, does not. Is it something to do with the code, the developers in particular? Don't know. I think it's very, very odd, but but it's also incredibly laughable. People who've jumped on it like, oh look, I saw two people. One person going, ha ha ha. Oh look, Ubisoft, even Stadia's biggest supporter, are now withdrawing from the platform. No, it's a typo. Yeah. Bank error in your favor. Collect $20. That's all it is. It's just a typo. It happened last year and it happened again this year, which is a bit careless. And then somebody new to Stadia going, oh, that's a shame. It looks like Ubisoft aren't supporting Stadia anymore. If you're in either of those camps, the first camp, you're an idiot. The second camp, don't worry. Honestly, it is the exception to the rule, right? It is an exception to the rule. And, for a moment there, we thought it was. I see Anthony there. Yeah. In the channel. Because even Stadia, when Anthony goes, oh my God, two things here before Anthony goes, oh, I've just heard it off the Nerf report. Disappoints me you didn't know that already, Anthony, before you watched the Nerf report. Thought you'd like to be you should already, if you're really a Stadia fan, you should already know the news before you see it on the Nerf report. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Joking. Second thing. So, Anthony tweeted out, he was excited because he just heard on the Nerf report, that For Honor was coming to Stadia, and the Stadia social media, Stadia Twitter responded and going, yeah, we're excited too. Who are you going to choose? What character, what class are you going to choose? So we thought it was all confirmed from that, but it just goes to show, I think a few people were cautious because it was erroneously announced last year. So there's obviously some unique thing about For Honor, because there's no other excuse for it not to be on Stadia, because as I said, all the other Ubisoft titles come to Stadia. Don't worry about that. The fact that Rabbids Legends is coming, yeah? Roller Kings, all that. So don't worry about it. But there we go. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. So there are a few things I guess we can take from the Stadia Monday Night Chat news this week. Ultimately, over the next few weeks, right? And I also happen to know we've got, as mentioned, so we know we've had game announcements in the Stadia news. We've got at least two showcases from this week from publishers who have already brought games to Stadia. Not, and one of those publishers have made it their mission to bring as many games as possible to Stadia. So outright games. Trust me, I would be very, very surprised, given their track record, if we don't get some more game announcements later this week from outright games. My fingers crossed are for 505 games. So as you can see, oh, look, Jack to Slip. Thank you there for flashing the cash. Much appreciated, Jack. Thank you. There we are. Finally, I'm recognizing that he's dishing out that. I'm not sure it comes down to the I think they just have an arrangement that basically all the games are going to come to Stadia, which makes me think there is an anomaly in the system. I don't think it's a money issue. I think there is something odd about the game or something like that, because there's no rhyme and reason. Because I think the deal, I don't think the arrangement that they have is that basically they're supporting Cloud, Luna, and Stadia, and just bringing everything to it. So there you go. Anthony there also, thank you for the shout out for being the most epic Stadia content creator. Thank you, Anthony. Favorite by far, love your content, always put on a show. We try. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, a plethora of game announcements already mentioned, right, in the Stadia news. 2 showcases coming up this week. Yeah. So we've got game announcements. So as I said, and I've said it many times on this show, ladies and gentlemen, many times, game announcements are not beautifully and conveniently evenly spread across the year. Yeah. They come in batches, usually around key announcement periods, like the sort of the E3 period of end of May, June that we now have as this sort of game announcement. I mean, there's loads of showcases coming up. It's not just the 2 this week. So games are released in sort of bursts and batches around key announcement periods, around optimal sale periods. So a couple of barren weeks for announcements, that we have had on Stadia a few weeks ago, a couple of barren weeks for announcements, and that somehow, okay, well, they're not going to reach their 100 plus games. Shouldn't be, say a couple of barren weeks shouldn't be read somehow that Stadia are not going to be delivering on their 100 plus games by the end of the year. Yeah. To do so, to sort of come to that conclusion, or to base an article around a couple of barren weeks, seems naive at best. I'm being frank here. I'm being honest. Yeah. Come on, people. I've said it so many times. People kind of look on a day-by-day basis or just on the last week. They never step back and look at the garden from a slightly further away and see the bigger picture. Stadia said they're going to be delivering 100 plus games. So if, they've only got 20 odd games so far, whatever, they've got a lot of catching. Yeah, so what? They could just come with a bucket full of games and go, there you go. Feed your gamey thumbs on that. So we're coming into announcement season, and trust me, I know this week we're going to hear a number of game announcements for Stadia. That's all I can say. All right. And as I said it before, Judge Stadia, I sound like drunk then. Judge Stadia, not Judge Judy, Judge Stadia, and what they say they'll be delivering and when. That's all I ask. All I ask of people, yeah? Judge Stadia on what their expectations are, what they say they're going to be doing. So in terms of games, judge them at the end of the year. It's a marathon, people, not a sprint. Talking of making a hasty judgment on cherry-picked bits of information, as mentioned, Risk of Rain 2 introduced its first ever expansion, Survivors of the Void. And this is out now in Stadia, as we said on the news, out now on Stadia. In fact, it's available only on Stadia and PC. Yeah. I only point that out because there's plenty of people point out when expansions come out on other platforms first and then not Stadia. Yeah. So where are the people shouting Stadia doesn't get the Risk of Rain expansions and DLC updates, etc.? Yeah. It's swings and roundabouts. So Risk of Rain 2 here is an example where Stadia, along with Steam, is first to get an expansion. So different publishers and developers will operate in a different way. You need to look at everything that's going on with Stadia and not just cherry picks the bits that suit your narrative, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Which brings me nicely, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, brings me nicely. Judge them not on their expectation, not on what you want. Try to, yes, exactly. It's funny, Christopher. I was thinking today that comparing Stadia with Xbox and PlayStation is like basically, imagine you've got some soccer players, yeah? You've got some professionals, yeah? Some 20-year-old professionals, and then someone who's just signed onto it, like a 14-year-old or 12-year-old who's just signed onto the academy. And then it's like saying, why aren't you as good as Lionel Messi? Yeah? Why aren't you as good as Mo Salah? You're rubbish just because he's got a rich dad. Yeah? Well, the reason is that they've had years and years of experience and at pro level, etc. And so it's foolish to compare Stadia with Xbox and PlayStation. But we've said that before. It's old stuff. We know that. You just need to kind of compare, put things in context and perspective. That's anyway. But anyway, the point is, it brings me nicely to the big topic of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's the big topic of the show. Yeah, we haven't even got to it. He's been ranting. He's been ranting about other stuff that he always rants about. Yeah, that's because it gets on his nerves. Yeah, because he reads Reddit. It gets on his nerves, the ill-informed people on there. I know, but he's ranting every week. It's the same thing. Yeah, well, you see the same nonsense on Reddit every week. What do you expect? Anyway, the point is, the big topic, immersive stream tech, before I'm sidetracked by my two selves. The immersive stream tech, ladies and gentlemen. Those that watch this show know I like to do my research. Yeah, I like to look a bit deeper than just what Dave69 on Reddit said. Yeah. So let's rewind. Yeah. Let's rewind to the 1st of February, 2021. I know it's painful. But bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. It's important. Yeah. Bear with me. When Google announced it was closing Stadia Games and Entertainment, as I said, I'm sorry to bring it up again, but it's important for the thread. It's important for the story here. Back then, February the 1st, 2021, yeah, over a year ago, nearly, over a year, 15 months ago, we saw Google pivot its business model and very clearly stated, it very clearly stated what the new business model would be. And there were two streams, excuse the phraseology, okay, two arms, two legs, as it were, of that business strategy. The first one, yeah, was, I'll highlight it here so you can see. The first one here was having games streamed to any screen is the future of this industry, and we'll continue to invest in Stadia and its underlying platform to provide the best cloud gaming experience for our partners and the gaming community. This has been the vision of Stadia since the beginning. Okay. And then the other aspect was in 2020, and then they continue in 2021. Yeah, they continue here. In 2021, we're expanding our efforts to help game developers and publishers take advantage of our platform technology and deliver games directly to the players. We see an important opportunity to work with partners seeking a gaming solution all built on Stadia's advanced technical infrastructure and platform tools. We believe this is the best path to building Stadia into a long-term sustainable business that help grows the business. Okay, so that's the first bit. Yeah. Oh, they're white labeling and all that kind of, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Basically, they're going to really start utilizing the underlying tech. And the second bit is we'll continue to bring new titles from third parties to the platform. We're committed to the future of cloud gaming and will continue to do our part to drive this industry forward. Okay, so those are the two key aspects. So let's deal with that latter part first. So in 2021, they delivered over 100 games to Stadia from third parties. Yeah. In 2022, they're bringing another 100 plus games. And now we know we have games delivering in 2023, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. In addition to that, at last year's Google for Games Developer Conference and this year's Google for Games Developer Conference, they introduced new business models for publishers and developers bringing their games to Stadia. They introduced low change porting pilot, which they're rolling out this year with improved Unity and Unreal support. They've improved the QA process and much, much more to make it easier for publishers to bring their games to Stadia. They're continuing, so this is the Stadia side of things. They're continuing to refine and improve not only the business model, but the tools needed for the benefit of publishers. As Karine Yap summarizes, have I got Karine Yap here? No, I will summarize on her behalf. As Karine Yap of Stadia summarizes, Stadia continues to improve and support the success of their partners, such as great streaming tech, efficient porting, powerful discovery tools, such as all the new landing pages, yeah, and individual game pages being available in search and all of that. And people able to sort of click through direct to those game pages and free trials, all of that, yeah, helping support and pushing Stadia. So in the 2 years since that announcement, yeah, Stadia as a consumer offering is very much here and will continue to be here despite annual proclamations and reheating of old misinformed news to the contrary. Okay, tick, ladies and gentlemen, tick. Yeah, Stadia will continue to be here. It may not be as explosive or fantastic as ever, in terms of the speed and size, but it will, remain here. But what about the other bit? An important opportunity to work with partners, etc. Well, last year we obviously saw AT&T using Stadia tech for Batman Arkham. And in this show several months ago, we highlighted jobs that mention that. I'll show you. Yeah, so I'm going to show you this job description here that highlights. So this is a job description. Come on. Here we go. It highlights the two distinct aspects. Okay. Immersive streaming for gaming. We're making the infrastructure and tools available to developers and publishers who want to build their own interactive platforms, deliver their games directly to their customers. We aim to grow the business. Okay. And then here, Stadia is Google's cloud-based gaming platform. Two very distinct aspects of it, yeah? Two very distinct aspects. Clearly laid out. Not one or the other, but both. Yeah? Immersive stream for gaming and Stadia as being Google's cloud-based gaming platform. Very two distinct parts of the business. Okay? Just as in the presentation at the Google for Games Developer Conference in March this year, where they gave the tech that name, Immersive Stream for Games, which sits under the Google Cloud side of the business. So as we can see from this recent job at Google, it makes very clear distinction between those two things, but gives equal billing to both aspects, Stadia and Immersive Stream. Not one or the other, but both, ladies and gentlemen, but both. Yeah. And then there's more, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Clive, but we know that, right? We know that. We know all of that. And although we appreciate you presenting it with such clarity and insight that only you offer in the Stadia content community world, of course, why, thank you very much. But there's more. Yeah, there is more. Immersive Stream is not just games, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just games. Several months ago on this show, I talked about a very specific job at Google that mentioned the streaming tech. And in that job description, it mentioned something that we sort of tried to think, what could they mean? What could they possibly mean? That's not what I want. That's talking about the wrong bit there. Okay. Anyway, there was a job description, and in it, I'll highlight here. In it, it described about the immersive stream and described it here and about bringing, games and stuff like that and other forms of graphics rich, real-time interactive applications. And I pondered in the show, so let's just read that again, and other forms of graphic rich, real-time interactive applications. That was a job. So it was a job in which Google Stadia was mentioned, the streaming tech was mentioned, but specifically with this aspect of it here, other forms, so games and other forms of graphic rich, real-time interactive applications. And we pondered on the show. So this was back in, I think it was December, and we pondered on the show, what could they mean? Because this is more than just games. Could it be the Peloton thing that we'd read about? Yeah. We'd heard that Peloton was using the cloud gaming technology, Stadia's cloud technology, to deliver sort of a fitness game experience for their customers. So we thought maybe it's that, maybe that's what they're referring to in this graphics rich, real-time interactive application. Well, ladies and gentlemen, roll on the Google I/O conference last week. And I think we have the answer, ladies and gentlemen. I think we have the answer. I was in the crowd then. Let's just pause it here. Oh, sod's law then, wasn't it? Pause it, it's the wrong bit. There, as you can see at the bottom, you probably, because the line's in the way. Powered by Google Cloud Immersive Stream. Yeah. So this technology, which is using machine learning to kind of put the photos together and then give you a kind of a drone-like fly through, but it streams it to your phone using Google Cloud Immersive Stream. No sound. I'm speaking. Oh, no sound on the... Well, that's because I paused it. Oh, I know why. Yep. Thank you for pointing that out. There we go. There we go. Anyway, the point is,
what's amazing is that this isn't a drone flying in the
Right, so
restaurant.
there we go. So they were showing that off, and that is immersive, using the immersive stream technology, ladies and gentlemen. So maybe that's what they were referring to in that job description when they mentioned graphics-rich, real-time, interactive applications. Could that be using the immersive stream technology? Well, yes, it literally says Google Cloud Immersive Stream, which is pretty awesome stuff. But there's more, ladies and gentlemen. There is more. And hopefully you'll see this. All right, sound on, sound on, sound on. Boop, boop. What if immersive photo real biscuit, photo real biscuit, powered by Google Cloud. I think you get the idea, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's streaming the stuff, the 3D stuff here, using immersive stream instantly, as they say, for loads of different, and see this, like retail, travel, medical, all this kind of stuff are key businesses that Google Cloud is targeting, yeah, in order to build up the Google Cloud side of the business. So there we go, immersive stream for XR. Ladies and gentlemen, immersive stream for XR. Great. So very exciting. I saw that. I thought very exciting. Is that using Stadia developed tech that was developed for Stadia? Well, apparently, according to Reddit, to Stadia Reddit, no. Yeah. It's a firm no. According to Stadia Reddit. Have I got that? Yeah, let's go to Stadia Reddit, see what they say about it. No explicit Stadia news at I/O, but this sounds a lot like Stadia Stream. And somebody says, yeah, well, at the end it says powered by Google Cloud Immersive Stream. And then someone says, this is not rendered on device, but will there's no way for a video stream from Stadia to resize itself so smoothly while changing resolution and aspect ratio. Right? So no, apparently not. There's no way. That is not Stadia technology. Yeah? Apparently, according to this Reddit user, no way. There is no way a video stream from Stadia can resize itself so smoothly while changing resolution aspect ratio. It's not immersive stream. It's not the Stadia tech. The guy on Reddit, he says it right here. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Fact. It's fact, apparently. Yeah. This is why we go to Reddit, isn't it? That's where we get our facts and information from, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Let's not ask anybody else. Yeah. Let's just speculate. Yeah. Well, I guess that's it. Everything I've just said is a waste of time, yeah? I guess that's what Reddit says, you know, but I don't know. Maybe we could just ask, Google? Shall we? I don't know. Call me crazy. I know it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, imagine we could just speculate for hours in Reddit with so-called kind of Dave69 and experts, whatnot, you know. We could do that and take all our news, you know, like you see on Reddit, somebody says something and then the next line is, oh my God, I don't believe it. Is that true? Yeah. Or, call me crazy. This is crazy. I know, sit down. And if you're driving, just pull over, right? Why don't we just check in with Google? Yeah. Why don't we check in with Google? I know. Who could we ask? why don't we check with Yiling Louis? Who is Yiling? Sorry, Yiling. Yiling Louis. Who is Yiling Louis, you ask? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I will share with you who Yiling Louis is. She is product manager at Google. And she shared this super cool 3D AR streaming technology derived from Stadia. Now in preview on Google Cloud, you can build a 3D world using Unreal and stream photorealistic 3D AR content to your phone. The GB level rendering is done on cloud data centers. Think about the potential with those AR glasses in the future. If you watch Google I/O, they had these super cool I/O glasses that basically allowed Google Translate in like subtitles. So you could talk to somebody in a different language using Google Translate, and the subtitles would like appear in augmented reality on your glasses. So you could understand, like living subtitles. Anyway, but here is the product manager at Google confirming it's derived from Stadia tech. Yeah, it's derived from Stadia. And think about the potential for AR glasses, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Yiling Louis, for that. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Yiling. Much appreciated. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Technology derived from Stadia. So yes, it is the Stadia tech. It is the tech that informs and drives Stadia. And you heard that, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that from Google themselves. Not Dave69 on Reddit, yeah, but Google. You see how frustrated I get with Reddit? Oh my God. Or tech blogs. Yeah, or YouTubers who think they know or just repeat and reheat ill-informed articles, etc. Do your basic research. Yeah, do your basic research. Anyway, I digress. Tell I'm serious when I take my glasses off, ladies and gentlemen, yeah? I digress. So the point is, what does this all mean for Stadia, Clive? Yeah, well, you know, what does it mean for Stadia? What's that got to do with Stadia? Just because it's a Stadia tech, what's it got to do with Stadia? Well, Stadia, as I've established, is a consumer game, is the consumer game offering, yeah? The consumer game offering powered by Stadia tech. Basically, the immersive stream. And based on jobs descriptions and improvements to the business model and games coming still, you know, and games coming, etc., it's still an important aspect of the business. But the importance of the underlying tech and the diversification of that tech means that Google as a business is continuing to invest heavily and improve that tech. And ultimately, that is only going to help the Stadia side of things. The tech is not dependent on the success of Stadia gaming platform. Yeah, on the consumer side of things. The tech sits under Google Cloud Business, and Stadia sits under the services and subscriptions. This has all been confirmed by Google. I'm not making this up, or this is all fact. Yeah. Immersive Stream sits under the Google Cloud Business. Stadia sits under services and subscriptions. So the tech doesn't form part of Stadia's bottom line. Thus, it frees up Stadia to continue to develop and continue as a consumer offering over the long term without having to kind of make a return on investment that pays for the tech. Yeah? The tech is paying for itself, or is and is being invested in by Google Cloud. The immersive streaming tech is super, super important to the Google Cloud business. That's why it featured at Google I/O. They're showing off their latest tech. So while Google continues to invest in the future of immersive stream tech, consumers of Stadia will only benefit. And all of this, everything I've just said here, was mentioned in that blog post in February 2021. And it's all coming together exactly as Google said it would. Listen to Google, not Dave69 on Reddit. Yeah? Feel free to clip this whole section and give it to bad faith / lazy journos or ill-informed opinionators on Reddit or Twitter or whatever. Or perhaps not. Because as Mark Twain allegedly said, never argue with an idiot. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. Just keep watching and supporting this show, and I'll try and bring you a more detailed and thought through analysis of all things Stadia. That's all I'm saying. Let me know what you think in the chat. Yeah? Am I saying Stadia is perfect and 100% online with everything that they plan to do? No. Obviously, they'd love to see some bigger games. That was always part of the plan. Yeah? That is still, I would say, a shortfall, you know? I would say that is not them meeting their expectations. They certainly hinted that there would be a renewed effort to bring, you know, the big games by closing down SG&E. And, you know, whilst there have been some big games, perhaps not as many as we would have liked, but they're certainly bringing the games, ladies and gentlemen. They're certainly bringing the games. But let me know what you think in the chat and all of that. Why don't we go to chat and see what you amazing guys have been saying. Let me close down a few of my crazy things here. Bit of a rant there. Am I harsh? Am I harsh on Reddit? Am I harsh on commentators? That's what people do, though, isn't it? That's what Twitter's all about. It's what Reddit's all about. Opinions. It's what YouTube's all about, isn't it? Having an opinion, making a video, and then not caring about it. I watched an interesting video. Should I say this? Could be controversial. I'll try to be vague about it. I rewatched a video that I was on. That's all I'm going to say. Along with some other people from back in February 2021. And I was listening to one of the guests on that particular show. And it was interesting how wrong they were. Stadia's still here. And secondly, one of the things they said is that basically with the closure of SG&E, it will be the end of R&D. I don't think it's the end of the R&D, do you? If anything, Google is doubling down on the R&D in terms of Stadia tech. Anyway, maybe I said too much. But it was just interesting to go back and watch commentators and opinionators and stuff and see what they say and just compare it. Yeah, where are we now? Do it with me. Do it with me. I'm up to it. I'm up for it, you know? Right, let's see what you guys have said. The interview with John Scars Gaming and Kelly Carson Games. Yes, it was good. Indeed, it was. Pedder is live. What are you talking about? Don't give the game away. Clive's over there. Aren't you, Clive? Yes, I'm over there. You all right? Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks. Got leg here. Oh. I remember, brother. Exactly. Thank you. Got to support the news. Thank you. I know you remember. It's just lovely when it pops up, you know. 1 week we'll look to his left in the news studio. I do, maybe. Yeah, I will. We're over there. Yeah, gets confusing. Pixel Junk earlier. Yeah, I must go to Pixel Junk. I love the music in Pixel Junk. It's going to go a bit spiritual to it. Carson Kelly of CEO. Now, if I say it 5 times, will he come at me out the mirror? Woodstar, how are you? Lovely to see you, sir. Again, just thanks for the super chat there. 4K performance mode sticks to linear smooth sensitivity 0.95. That no disrespect, Stadia Adventure. That's just a load of words. I'm sure it means something. I just don't know what the context. Yeah, no honor. Oh, I was hopeful. I was hopeful. Part of me did think it's difficult with Stadia. I mean, you know, despite everything I've said, and we know the track record, to balance expectations with wishful thinking. It's a delicate balance with Stadia. Being a fan of Stadia or following Stadia, to make the right judgment call, ultimately, isn't it? You've just, you know, and I was hoping that For Honor would come. It would be great. Yeah, trolling Stadia. Yeah, they did it last year. So I bet we were going, you mean it this time? Oh, yeah, I'm not lying. Really? Yeah, no, definitely coming. You're not lying to me because you tricked me and I got upset last year. Is it really coming? Yeah, it's definitely coming. You sure? Yeah. Can I tell my friends? Yeah, go and tell your friends. All right, you're not tricking me. No, not tricking you. Hey, everybody, For Honor's coming. It's not coming. What? Yeah, they're trolling us. Yeah, unfortunately not. As shout out to Stadia Source, because I think they reached out to Ubisoft. It's not me. It was Stadia Source, Lee, Stadia Source, I think, or Dan, but I think it was Lee who reached out to Ubisoft just as he did last year, and confirmed. They got confirmation that it's not coming. Hello, Jerry. How are you? Bud, good to see you there. Simpleton, good to see you, brother. Cuckold Simulator coming. Really? Zepta. Who publishes Cuckold Simulator? Maybe we could get onto them. It's the Carson Kelly Games was saying, if it wasn't for 1030 Media Group, in fact, wasn't it? He was referring to. If it wasn't for this guy here, am I right? Anyway, if it wasn't for one of the Stadia community, Talking Dogs wouldn't be coming. They put the developer onto Stadia. So, you know, actually, Cuckold Simulator, get onto the, you know, it could be could be part of my Bring It to Stadia segment, couldn't it? Thank you, Jack. Thank you. Yeah, the Avon sales are going well, clearly. Everyone says it is. It does stand out For Honor, isn't it? It's the sort of the most non-looking Ubisoft game, potentially. I don't. Is the combat similar to the Assassin's Creed combat? Don't know. Thank you, Rick, for the round of applause. Yeah, good stuff. We can see delays, adjustments. It's all part of gaming now. Blue Byte Associate. Yeah, we could see. That's what I'm thinking. I think there's something odd about the game. That's what I'm thinking. Or the developer or something like that. He's gone all capability brown. Exactly. 1000%. Yeah, made with Vulkan, one of the advantages. Bringing it straight. Wasn't it that one guy? I can't remember the one guy who ported it. Or was it the one? Anyway, yeah. One of the advantages of it. Risk of Rain said it would be along with consoles, even though they get it wrong. Exactly. Wow. What a comparison. It was well, I mean, it was a good business decision given the situation I think they were in terms of expectation and probably the high expectation internally, probably hyped up by the Stadia team and Phil, you know, internally. Oh no, we can deliver you all of this, and then not maybe delivering on the targets, and Google being quite harsh about it, but recognizing, wait a minute, what we have here is amazing tech. And maybe that's what we need to be concentrating on. We want to be in the gaming industry and have a platform. We can continue to do that, but we're not dependent on the success of Stadia to support further R&D and development of the underlying tech. So once you separate those two things, it sort of frees up Stadia to be able to wash its own face, as it were. Yeah, it doesn't have the tech and the R&D sitting on the bottom line, sucking out all the money so that it can't be sustainable. It makes it much more smaller and sustainable. You know, it's not going to be on the grand scale of Xbox and all that kind of stuff. We know that. But it will be sustainable and therefore is here for the long term. Just been done playing, completed it, mate. What are you saying, Ron? Completed it. Completed Destiny 2. Melsu, how are you? 32. Changed, you know, it's Mail Sir. What's it gone to Mail Sue 32? 21, 22, 23. Yeah. I think, I mean, Google should bring the glasses back. The big dilemma was just the privacy issue because they had the camera. Take away the camera. I don't think you need a camera on the glasses, but have them augmented reality. And now they've got those nice, cool, thick rims as well. Look really cool. I want a pair of them glasses. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. No sound. Create once, run everywhere. That's Stadia talk right there. Well. Used to be a wonderful place. Yeah, it did. It did. Ex-development department of Google. I feel so much better now. Good. Exactly. The doom and gloom echo chamber on Reddit, on Stadia Reddit, is because they just they just have a very narrow view and they don't look at the bigger picture. And, you know, yeah, look, we get it. I get it. You know, it's not lived up to the expectation of some people, you know, as they love to remind us. That's it. I'm out next week. That's it. I'm out. Okay. I thought you were out next week. Oh, that's it. I'm out this time. Definitely this time. Look, I just tried it. The point of this show, there's lots of, I could focus on lots of small negative things. It's not that I ignore them. I just don't think they're necessarily relative. You know, Fall Guys was announced on all platforms, you know, not Luna or Stadia. But, you know, so what? It doesn't mean, you know, that doesn't spell doom and gloom for Stadia. It's from Epic, for goodness sake. I don't have a good relationship with Stadia, Google. So, you know, it would be great to have Fall Guys. Of course it would, but it's not. But, it, you know, it's not worth me focusing on that. If you see what I mean. It's not that important. Let's have fun with Stadia. What machine? Exactly. Exactly. Of course he does. He loves it. He is a bit weird. Thank you, Peda. Yeah, exactly. Stadia is just basically the storefront. And so when people, you know, say, oh, we're Gen 2, don't talk to me about Gen 2. The point is they're constantly improving it. Yeah. Thank you, Peda. Wrong, wise words. Well, just preach, people. Just clip it. Clip it when you see nonsense. But then again, bear in mind the risk of getting involved in an argument with an idiot. So sometimes try to do, it's really hard. Try to do what I do and don't. Block, ignore, and all of that. No. I think Anthony knows. I think Anthony knows. I just watched it again for reference. I watched it again. Anyway, I don't want to stir up trouble, but it was just interesting. It is very interesting to go back. It did make me realize, go back to see what was said, who said it. Now there's time. Were the predictions right? Bold predictions made. And whether you trust the validity and veracity of people who consistently make those statements. That's all I'm saying. Stelios, good to see you, sir. Hey guys, looking to invite. Is it worth to subscribe to Stadia? Yeah. 50 odd games, K Jones. 50 games. Plus, look, you've got all those free, you've got 13 free trials, if not 14 free trials. So you can try those out. You've got 50 plus games in Stadia Pro if you sign up. If you're lucky enough to be, you know, Stadia Pro from day one, I don't know how many games we've got. Like 100 and over 100, maybe 150. Anybody know? We should check with Inled. He'd know. Anyway, hundreds and hundreds of games thanks to Stadia Pro. But if you go in now, instantly, look, subscribe for a month. You get 50 games. So there we are, definitely. But if you're not sure about Stadia, then just have a go on all the free trials. See if there's a game you like. But definitely, or even just spend, you know, whatever it is, $10 or whatever it is, wherever you are, $8.99 or whatever it is here in the UK. And you can just take your time, go through loads of games on the Stadia Pro library. I swear by it. Primo, yes, at the back there, putting your hand up or waving. I'm not sure though. Put your hand up. Hello. What the heck is talking to? Exactly. I basically think it's described as a third person sort of open adventure where you play Phil the Husky. Think Homeward Bound. Have you ever seen the Disney film Homeward Bound with talking dogs? Yeah? With Bruce Willis was in it, I think. One of the talking dogs. I'm not sure. Anyway. And they go off on an adventure searching for a lost friend or something. So it's like that, as I understand it. This is how I think it is. But you're a dog. And there's a little bit of platforming in it. But it's mostly open world adventure as you follow the story of Phil the Husky searching for his friend. I think his friend is Glenn. Glenn the other dog. I don't know. Watch John's Four Scars Gaming interview with the developer, and it might give you a little bit of idea. He will have a big reveal in June. But interesting. Your tweets always can't scroll past them. Exactly. It's not similar to the combat Assassin's Creed. It's a hybrid game where it's part fighting, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Woof, woof, woof. The game. Who's developing it or publishing it? Rick. I stopped playing a while back. Just wondering if there's anything out now. Well, K Jones, there are, as I say, it's not just the Stadia Pro library. There are about 13 or 14 free trials that you can try. And some of those are big games. So well worth just dipping in and see whether it's changed for you. It is subjective what you'll enjoy. It's hard. We don't know what, if you just want to play, I know, Fortnite and Call of Duty, then, sorry, you're going to be disappointed. But if you like a few big games and, I forget what's on free trial at the moment, but there's some big games on there. And then in the Stadia Pro library, there's some AAA games in there. Plus loads of really interesting and rewarding indies. I mean, Fall Guys was an indie, if you think about it. It's not on Stadia, but I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be a AAA to be super popular. People finding Stadia today with the power of the world's largest search engine don't know jack about it. Exactly. No, they don't have a good relationship with Epic don't either, really. Yeah, no, Epic don't have a good relationship with Google. Yes, Anthony, I forgot to mention it. Good shout out. Well done, you and MM2K. But I understand, little birdie told me it's mostly you organising Stadia Community Day. And that's what's good. It's a good event that it revitalised Stadia for me so much. A game I was thinking about buying PlayStation. I didn't because it won't be the same playing without you all. That's nice. been pumping Stadia in a very positive way. Interesting. 100. Thank you, Inled. 140. There we go. So 143 games in total, pro games. Is that all? Yes, it's been a rolling sort of 40 to 50 games through that 143 games, isn't it? If you ever join at any one time during that 143 game period, there's been about 40. Currently, there's like 50 odd games. But yeah, like, I don't know, over £2,500 worth of games. Thank you. Yes, indeed, Inled. My Red Dead Redemption 2 house is called Phil. Brilliant. Yeah, it's true. I have more games. I have more games on Stadia. I've said it before. Because you don't worry about, oh, I've got no space for them. That's the point. Spirit, yeah. I've seen Lassie in Porky's. Porky's the movie. How, Purple Haze, how are you? The Purple Bully. Bless. Leave Purple Haze alone. 143 great games. Some of the pro titles have been fantastic. They have, indeed. They have been fantastic. Well, there we go. That's a chat. We've kind of got through chat. I'm conscious of the time. It's been a bit of a show. Been a bit ranty in places, but, you know, hopefully you enjoyed my little thesis on the importance of the immersive stream technology and how Stadia as a consumer offering will benefit and all of that. Feel free to share those bits. It's all there. I think it's beautifully argued, and all the evidence is there that support that and all of that. Don't forget to hit the likes, because I like it, YouTube likes it, and of course it helps people like you find awesome Stadia content like this. And if you are new here, you've never watched a Stadia Monday Night Chat before, and you think, oh, who is this arrogant git here ranting and raving and talking about Stadia? Don't worry about me, but do subscribe, toggle that notification bell so you know when I go live with great content like this, ladies and gentlemen. Bree, my son plays FIFA all the time. Anyway, thank you, Jerome, as ever. Let's do this all again, same time, same place, next week. And don't forget, after the credits roll, it'll take you straight to, oh yeah, Stadia, and now your mama knows, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being a wonderful, wonderful audience, and I'll see you all round next week. Thank you.